Hello and welcome back. I'm Nate.
I'm Mikey.
We're here to help you
improve your balance.
So today we're going through a new book. It's called Stand Tall, Don't Fall by Bill Case. And this is an excellent book, and it really talks about how posture plays a big role in your balance. So we've got a bunch of exercises that we'll show you from this book, so we'll bring it to life a little bit. We do recommend you pick it up. It's got a lot of good information, and it kind of puts the context into what we'll be sharing with you today.
Yeah, so for this video, there's going to be 6 videos for this, and they recommend either having a TheraBand, some sort of stretchy band, or little dumbbells. So if you have those around, go ahead and grab those. We won't use them too much today, but you can always add them to the exercise routine to make it more challenging. And the other videos definitely get using those a little bit more. The reason we chose this book is because it does a really good job of using posture as a unique lens into your health. And he uses this acronym called IMAGE. So independence, mindset, alignment, gravity, and exercise. So he really focuses on maintaining your independence. The whole reason we do exercise and all this is so we can get out, do the things we want to do, try new things for the first time, still be exploring out in the world. The mindset, posture really makes a big difference in how we feel about ourselves, how we present ourselves to the world. All right, so helping ourselves, feeling our best, expressing that to everyone. And then with the alignment, we're going to help prevent pain and increase mobility as well. So with gravity, all right, we're fighting gravity. If you align yourselves, you're just taking that stress off of the spine, the different parts of the body. And these exercises here are great for opening up your frame, standing tall, and keeping your balance. So it's a really neat book, and it goes deep into this one aspect of balance that can make a big difference.
All right, so if you're ready, let's get going. So come on up and then find a wall space. We're gonna start with your posture. So get a clear space here, and basically you're just gonna walk all the way back against the wall. So if you can't bring your heels to the wall, that's okay. You can just keep them a few inches away. But if you are comfortable enough, you could bring your heels all the way to the wall. And the key here is, a lot of people, is the neck. So when you put your back against the wall, a lot of people's head is forward. So you're gonna have to actually draw your head and your chin back and in to be able to stand tall against the wall, right? And the shoulders too, right? So a lot of times the shoulders are rounded forward, the arms are hanging like this, so you may have to also notice that your shoulders are coming back.
Good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so now we're going to step away from the wall and see if we can keep that same posture. All right, so really noticing which parts of you weren't able to touch the wall or that you had to push back on. All right, holding that muscle, that muscular energy, all right, and trying to maintain it as you come forward. All right.
You might feel a little robotic at first coming out. You don't want to feel like you're totally stiff, but it's going to feel a little weird at first, but eventually it will start to feel more natural. So this is something you can do just as you're walking around about your day, and you start to notice that your posture is slumping, you're getting tired, gravity's pulling on you, your alignment's going down the drain. Just 5 seconds, go against the wall, just kind of reorient, kind of get that muscle memory, click, and then go about on your way. So that's the first one.
Yeah, so easy exercise there. This one, so we're going to work on that chin tuck, all right? So instead of shooting our chin forward, all right, when we're over the computer or reading or wherever, we want to bring that chin in, not down, we're not looking down, but backwards. So if you push your chin forward and then draw it backwards, push your chin forward, draw it backwards, all right, notice that neck come into alignment. All right, so hold it for a few seconds, relax, tuck it back in, relax, draw it back in.
And this is one too where if you have a wall or if you have something against the back of your head, that you can actually create a little resistance. So when you're pressing against something, you create a little isometric exercise. A little bit of pressure builds up and the muscles strengthen. So that also is another way to do this. If you have your head against something, or even just holding your hands, or like one of the TheraBands or a rope or something like that. Great. So then the next one is called goalposts, and you'll do this. You can do it seated. This is our first one, and this is also a good one for the car. So they talk about when getting in your car, put on your seatbelt, then sit straight in the seat, and then pull back and you can open your chin and your back. So when you're seated for the goalposts, you can really check the shoulders and elbows, and this can change a little. So you might bring it higher, up, or you could bring it lower down. So it just depends on your shoulders, and also from the side view, you may have to start off with your hands kind of on the front of your body, and little by little you'll be able to bring it parallel, and eventually maybe even back. But start off aiming for a good comfortable mid-range, depending on how your body's feeling. You can go up and down a little bit, and just hold and breathe, and you can take little breaks. So aim for about 30 seconds or so.
And it's nice when you can just let those, the bones in the back of your shoulders, your scapula, just sit. And if you can find a nice, comfortable, relaxed spot with good alignment, all right, that's going to really help train your body to sink into these natural, good posture positions.
This is where if you do have a TheraBand or something, you can hold it, and that can give you a little bit of feedback, so you can either press against, outward or even upward, and sometimes that gives you a little bit of a challenge to make it a little bit more, a little bit stronger, a little bit more of a workout if that feels too easy for you.
And the dumbbells can help you get into this position as well. And so that just having that little bit of weight, can help you notice if you can just relax and let your bone and ligaments and tendons, all right, take on that effort and help you sink into place there.
Yeah, and last one is if you have a balance bar, this is a long one, so maybe make sure you have enough space. Actually, you can just hold it with your hands normally, and just like that, and then you can do the same thing and just go up and down, and this does the same thing. And the nice thing about the balance bar, as opposed to like a strap or something, is you can actually pull apart, so wake up the muscles that pull outward, and you can also squish together. So you can actively press, see how the bar is bending a little bit. And you really activate all the surrounding muscles, so you get a little bit more of a three-dimensional approach. And then afterward, you can rest your hands over the top, do a little neck massage, and that really does the trick. So this is a really good tool to help with your goalposts, with your upper back posture.
Nice. Yeah, this is a wonderful prop. It really helps open up those shoulders and neck areas. So if you have a chair around, we're going to do just a little sit to stand with a small back extension. So if you have any neck or back problems, just be a little careful. We're not going to go too far backwards. Nate's going to show you the side angle here, but we're just going to go from sitting to standing. So find a good posture. All right, important to have good seated posture too. So hips forward, belly button forward. All right, nice and tall, shoulders up, back and down to relax. All right, and then we're gonna stand up. So have your hands on your waist. Try not to use your hands to help you up. If you need to lean forward or use arm chairs, that's okay, but get a nice solid base. Push down to come up, and then just a gentle stretch backwards, looking up a little bit, not using just your neck to look up, but really bending from the waist. All right, so just pushing those hips forward, keeping a neutral neck. Feel a little bit of stretch in the front of you there. So I'm just going to do this a few times. I'm standing and a little extension. Breathe. Come back to sit. All right, so we're just about 4 more of these.
And the nice thing with your hands back is you can draw your shoulders back too and open your chest. So that gives you a little bit of something to hang on to. And another version, if you have hard time with that back bend, the balance bar also really helps here. So you place on your sacrum, not on your lower back. When you come up, you can see how you can hold your hands wider, so that allows you to draw your shoulders back. So a lot of people, they can't really get their hands to the hips and pull back, so you have a wider starting point, and then you can do your back extension that way.
Yes.
So a little bit of an alternative version here.
Nice and slow. Just see the position there. All right, last time. Good. All right, pretty straightforward there.
Good. So the next one is heel and toe raises. So you can do this standing, and if you want to use a chair for a little more support, or the balance bar, so it comes in handy here, you can just lightly touch it. So basically you're going to rock from heel to toe.
And you can do this seated as well, right? It won't have the same resistance, but it'll help you with range of motion. You can really work on the muscles in your feet as well as your calves.
Yeah, so you simply go up on your toes and rock back on your heels and lift your toes up. Now, if you're at all concerned about falling backwards, especially when you lift your toes, right, make sure your back is against the wall, or you're doing it from the couch, something like that. Stay safe. Keep your upper body nice and relaxed. A couple ways to make it more challenging: you can bring your hands away from the chair onto your hips, or you can try it with your eyes closed. That almost makes it hard for anybody if your eyes are closed. Good. And just really wake up. Feet, your balance really starts in your feet, so waking it up, getting it stronger, getting more energized, and better circulation here.
If you're seated, you can get a lot out of this exercise too. When you go onto your toes, go all the way onto your toenails almost. Really get that stretch on the top of the foot. All right, so coming all the way up, ball of the foot, big toe, toenails, stretch. And then when you come back onto your heels, really think about spreading your toes wide. All right, so don't just bring up the toes, bring them up and spread them out as much as you can. All right, that'll really help strengthen those feet, help those arches develop, all right, which are really important for keeping your balance.
Now, some people get cramps when they do this. If that happens, just take a little break, and let it pass and then keep going. Cramps are not dangerous, so don't worry about it. And in fact, if you keep doing it, sometimes the cramps will subside. All right, you feeling that?
Yeah, good to get those feet warmed up. So a bigger muscle group now. We're just gonna go through some marching. All right, so just lifting your knees. You can be next to a wall. You can just have your hands on your hips, be next to a chair. All right, so we're just marching in place. All right, get a nice, try to get them nice and high, good 90-degree angles in your ankle, knee, and hips. All right, going slow, you can add to the balance, all right, and make this a lot more challenging, all right, more beneficial. And you can go quicker too, if that's what you want to work on. But when you give that pause, really makes your muscles have to work. Noticing your feet, all right, spread those toes wide again, keep that nice base of support.
If you remember one of our previous videos, they start to give you other tasks to do while you're doing exercise. So if you read a book while doing this, you actually challenge your balance even more. You add an extra dimension.
Close your eyes if you're feeling balanced.
And if you can read the book with your eyes closed, you're really advanced.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, valuable one there. Easy to do at a bus stop or waiting for your coffee or whatever. So next one, just the opposite. We're gonna kick our heels up. If you have ankle weights, they had a picture of someone with ankle weights doing this in the book. That's a good resource to have. And again, going slow, holding that little pause at the end. And then just stand on one leg for a little longer. They call this stork pose. All right, you can still do a one-legged heel raise. All right, really try to tire out one of your hamstrings, the back of the leg there. Meanwhile, the leg you're standing on is getting a lot of balance work as well as bone density. All right, when you stand on one leg for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, it really starts sending signals to increase bone density. So all these exercises where we stay on one leg are really valuable. And then switch to the other side. All right, see if you can tire out that other hamstring.
And double check, when you're working on your legs, sometimes you'll start to hunch and round, your upper back really starts slumping. So keep an eye also on your upper body posture. You really want to strengthen these muscles that hold your spine tall. Yeah, just one leg at a time really does it.
Nice. Hang in. So now, if you have your TheraBand, we're just going to try to do little squats. You can do this with dumbbells too, just adding a little bit of weight, because we're going to use the bigger muscle groups for just a nice simple squat. All right, so find a good wide stance and just notice about where is comfortable to go down. All right, for about 80% of your range of motion here. All right, going slow and in control. All right, if you have your dumbbells, you can start to add little curls. If you have a chair, you can do, you can sit down and come right back up. That's going to tire you out quick. You're going to enjoy watching Nate here.
Yeah, and this also can be a little bit safer too. So if you're at all concerned about squatting and you feel like you might tip backward, just have that chair handy. You don't have to necessarily even sit. You can just touch your butt to it lightly and then come back up. And it gives you also kind of a sense of where you are so you can keep the movements consistent.
And so if you have a big TheraBand like I'm using here, have a nice wide stance. If you widen your stance, it's going to make it harder. It's going to stretch it out more and give a little more resistance. All right, and then if you bend your arms, it'll make it harder too. All right, so just see where you can find a good resistance within that range of motion that you want to keep.
Yeah, aim for about 85%. So if you get to that 85% fatigue, it means you've worked hard enough that you're going to build your strength and bone density, but you're not at the risk of overdoing it. If you feel like you're going beyond 85%, then even though you might feel okay now, you might be really sore tomorrow, or you're more prone to injury. So 85 is a really good benchmark to shoot for.
And so a little preview for next video. We're going to start off with some side-to-side walking. So if you can do a squat a little bit to one side, all right, see if you can make it a little challenging for one leg at a time, doing a weight shift and getting that squat a little bit to the side. Good. If your knees are sore, just back off. All right, doing little short range of motions, all right, can have a big benefit. And over time, you'll be able to, to gain that strength, get rid of some of that pain and stiffness, draw blood flow to help heal, and then you can get a little bit more range of motion, all right, and have a nice upward cycle of recovery. So if it's pain, don't avoid it, just do little things that slowly make it better.
Yeah, and if you have knee replacements or knee pain, you can stop, take breaks, do little circles, spend more time warming up as well. So let's do what you have to do.
Nice. So keep going if you want, if you're not that 80%. But that's it so far. The last exercise was just doing squats, near a wall, but we were pretty much doing that. So I think that's it for the exercises today.
Yeah, and share this if you think it'll help somebody and give us a like. If you have any questions, send us a comment. And also, if there's something that you want us to focus on in these videos, if you have an idea, I know somebody said, oh, they have knee replacements, how do we do alternatives? So if there's something in particular to your condition or your life that we can work on, just send us a comment and we'll be able to make a video just for you. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. I'm Nate.
I'm Mikey.
And until next time,
stay balanced, my friends.